Good morning, Vikings. I'm Brad Luckett with the first Bradcast of 2014, and today we're going to take a step away from our usual goofy report to report on two great leaders, Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr., as a precursor to the Martin Luther King Jr. Assembly coming up soon. I will be here with Jillian Woodard, president of the Black Organization of Students, and Lee Solomon, a senior member of the club. Let's get started. Thank you two for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Definitely. My first question is, why is it important to celebrate Martin Luther King Day?
Well, Dr. King did a lot for not only African Americans, but he also did a lot for females and other minorities. Without his fights for civil rights, we wouldn't be able to be at Academy, because Academy for so long didn't have African American students and didn't allow female students in until the late 20th century.
When you really think about it, there are so many of us who have friendships and relationships with a lot of people from different races or different backgrounds, different religions, and I think because of the things that Dr. King did for us, the doors that he opened for us, it's very important that we acknowledge him and acknowledge the sacrifices that he made and the doors he really has opened for us.
I definitely agree. So, what is special about this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Day Assembly?
Well, Brad, we wanted to go with more of a motto of Live Like King, and with the recent passing of Nelson Mandela, we wanted to go with the Live Like Mandela theme as well. We think that it's important that this year we do more celebration of both of their lives. And we're bringing more of kind of an artistic feel for the assembly, making sure that people stay interested and stay active in the assembly instead of more of a lecture type thing that we've done in the past.
So with that being said, we have a dance group coming in. We have a special guest, which I'm not allowed to say, but it's going to be good. We are also going to have our gospel choir director come back, so that should be a good time. So it's really just about celebrating the lives of Nelson Mandela and Dr. King instead of just being lectured at and spoken at.
Sounds like a great assembly this year.
Hopefully.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. This year's motto for the assembly and the theme for Martin Luther King Jr. Day will be Live Like King and Live Like Mandela. So my question for you, Jill, is how can we take these things that these great leaders did and apply them to our everyday lives and learn from them?
Well, as we know, Dr. King was arrested, his house was bombed, he faced a lot of death threats, and Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison for fighting against the injustices that they experienced. I'm not saying that we have to lead protests throughout the streets or, start riots or anything, but I'm saying we should definitely continue out their legacy.
I completely agree. And one thing that comes to my mind when I think of the great work that these two men did is the word resilience and how they were able to continue to bounce back from so much adversity. And you think of Nelson Mandela, who spent so much time in jail fighting for what he believed in, and you think of Dr. King, who continually received death threats and people fighting against him, and their ability to just continue to press forward. It's very inspiring, and it makes you want to discover who you want to be in this world and discover what you believe in, and if you're willing to fight for that.
And I think we can do that by doing simple things, nothing major. We can continue to hold doors open for each other. We can stop using terms such as ghetto and ratchet all the time. We can just build an altruistic community and look out for each other.
No, I definitely understand that. It sounds like you're saying, like, Martin Luther King Jr. Day isn't really about skin color. It's about the characteristics these people held.
Exactly.
And putting them forward. And I definitely agree with that.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jillian, and thank you, Lee, for interviewing with me. It was a pleasure. I hope we can take some extra time to really reflect on what these two said and really focus on doing the little things in the community. Let's make an extra effort to live like King and live like Mandela. This is Brad Luckett with the Bradcast here with Jillian Woodard and Lee Solomon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.